Hello everyone, this is Mausam Pandya, your course instructor, and let us continue with our further session that we stopped in the previous session of resistive strain gauge, and we will continue at the point where we stopped last time. Thank you. Now next is unbonded strain gauge. So now you understand what is unbonded strain gauge, where something is not fixed, not bonded, that is unbonded. So here on the screen you see, once again let us go step by step. It's actually set of preloaded resistance wire and all are equally taut. Taut means they are equally stretched already and connected as four arms of Wheatstone bridge. We see, we know Wheatstone bridge has R1, R2, R3, R4, four arms we are making. They all should be balanced in the null position or when no load is applied. So here the wires are stretched in such a way that they are say preloaded, and in such condition it will give you zero reading. Now force when applied, say right now force is applied from your right to left. Okay, so there will be two wires, the wire number 1 and wire number 4. Here I say the wire number, let me give wire number for you. I say this is wire number 1, wire number 2, wire number 3, and the 4th grid wire. So I am talking about this first and fourth will be stretched with the application of force in the shown direction, and here number 2 and number 3 will be compressed, or the tension will decrease in this number 2 and 3. Now what will happen? As usual, our Wheatstone bridge will be unbalanced, and that output voltage, the unbalanced voltage, will be calibrated in terms of the displacement actually, which is actually due to the strain. So let us go ahead. Now let's have some conceptualization actually how does it work, that we can see here. You just observe the animation that I'm showing you here. These are the R1, R2, R3, R4, 4 wires are there, and simultaneously you see here according to the arrangement you observe the red colored and blue colored strain gauge arms. Basically they are the 4 resistances of the strain gauge. It can be combination of 4 resistance, it can be combination of 4 different strain gauge, or it can be part of one strain gauge. And here you see the balance condition comes at the zero voltage when V becomes 0, or else in the any of the direction the varying load, supply voltage is 10 volt, and this is actually Wheatstone bridge. This is actually galvanometer. It should be 0 under the no load condition. Okay, and the voltage division rule we apply, and we get the final voltage, and that will be actually characterized, or you can say calibrated in terms of micro strain. Now the second type, wire wound, we had seen the bonded and unbonded. Now the second type is foil type. It is actually extension of the wire wound, where the wire had to be fixed with the adhesive. Here little bit different technologies utilized, and you see the diagram, and you will be able to see that it's a foil. Foil means a layer. So metal foil of a very small thickness, say around 5 micrometer, and it is actually produced like a printed circuit technique. Like it is as good as like you print circuit on PCB. Similarly, we have to print the grid on a plastic backing by using say photo etching or vacuum deposition process. Basically, see, we will not go in the depth of how photo etching or vacuum deposition process is done. You can find out somewhere on the internet, and it is actually done on the one side of plastic. It is as good as like you are generating a printed PCB, and leads are soldered. These are the leads. These are soldered with the ends of the metal foil, which are actually made little bit fat. So this is actually how original or one actual strain gauge, foil type strain gauge is looking like. And you see these are the small, very small thin line grids are shown here. These are the fat lines which are created purposefully to avoid the spurious effect of the transverse strain. Transverse strain means we are talking about right now, say left to right, right to left, and if you go on the cross, so those effects should be removed, and it can be prepared in any form, like, and it can be combination of 2, it can be combination of 4, and even 4 different strain gauges are connected in the 4 arms of the bridge to measure the multi-axial forces also. See, here I am showing you the combination. See, the 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So these are multiple measurement. It can be the arms of the 4 arms of the Western bridge, and another for the calibration you can use. So any combination you can find out, and you see the actual foil type of strain gauge is looking like this in this picture, where the actual leads are soldered with the fat end of the metal foil. So this is all foil type strain gauge. And please recall the scale of actual formation. So again, I request you to remember the small size of the strain gauge, which can be actually fixed on your nail also, and we are trying to see a bigger picture on this. So I hope you understand the wire wound and foil type of strain. Okay, now next topic is semiconductor type strain gauge. So here this is third type that we are discussing with respect to electrical type of strain gauges, and here we will specifically talk about a very specific kind of characteristic of semiconductor material, that is piezoresistivity. Please remember the word piezoresistivity. You please do not mix it up with piezo electricity or piezo word that we studied in the last semester. This is a specific characteristic of material, semiconductor material, where doped silicon or germanium will change its resistivity when stress is applied. In previous semester we studied that piezoelectric crystal has the characteristic where if the supply is given, it would vibrate. Now in reverse order, if you apply some stress or say tension or say compression, that crystal was developing some EMF that we studied, but actually it is related to the change in the resistance or change in the resistivity of the material. And specifically here we talk about the silicon and germanium. So there was, we talked about Russell salt or some other piezo electric crystals. So here we'll be talking about the semiconductor type of material, that is silicon and germanium. So let us see some notations here. Say N type of silicon, polyimide film, P type of silicon, then gold wire, pin, aluminum. I have given these notations, like these colors you remember, and we will see the schematic or a very basic idea of the how semiconductor type strain gauge would be looking like. And after this we will stop here, and in next session we will be talking about in detail about the semiconductor type of strain gauge. So you see here, this is the pin, and the blue color is taken as gold wire, and this is P type of silicon and is formatted on the N type of silicon and polyimide film. Polyimide film, that is a plastic or backlight material on which we deposit it. And the further study about the piezo resistivity, and by using this we will be forming a semiconductor type of strain gauge, and that will detailed study in next session. Thank you so much. If you have any doubt, you can write down on this email, and keep watching this video and revising video. It will be useful for your examination. Thank you very much.